What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I know I've made the joke at least once that Hollywood is too small and Marvel Studios is too big, that eventually every actor is going to get tied to a role, and who knows, maybe even end up with one or two. But in some cases, some names that have yet to be cast and for a role just can't seem to shake their association and with the MCU. One name in particular when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine has been hanging around since late last year in Taylor Swift, where a ton of fans are convinced, and especially with the ending lyrics to her last album, that she is definitely playing a variant of Dazzler in the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine. Well, today we have an enormous breaking story that's good news and bad news depending on whether or not you want to see her in the MCU and whether or not you expect her to show up in Deadpool and Wolverine. And this coming from a trusted source that indeed, breaking today, Taylor Swift has met with Marvel Studios and is going to have a role in the MCU. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. We just announced a brand new winner last week, and we've got a new winner to announce with the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, all you got to do be a sub, leave a comment if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, first up, if you're even remotely interested in Deadpool or Wolverine at the NFL, or even have an idea of what's going on in the zeitgeist, there's a chance that Taylor Swift has been all over your radar, and for the better part, I would say, of the last year, but let's face it, probably the last decade. And when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, and because she showed up alongside Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and of course the director Sean Levy, to a certain Chiefs game last year, and because she was present at the Super Bowl where they unveiled the Deadpool trailer, and the lyrics to her last record ended up in the variant of some word like "it dazzles" or "dazzler," fans have insisted this must mean that she's in the film, whether it's just a rumor or not. No credible sources have really weighed in with that information until today. We're breaking from who else? Daniel Rickman. You guys can follow him over on Twitter under RPK News. And if you're not familiar with his work, is the most trusted in the industry. When it comes to Hollywood updates in general, he's got an amazingly accurate record, but when it comes to Marvel, he is batting almost 1,000. For instance, he's the one who first told us the tickets were going on sale this morning, the exact time that we were getting a 1-minute new TV spot, and alas, we did. Well, today he broke the following quote: Taylor Swift had a good meeting with Kevin Feige, and they are discussing a role in the MCU. So for you Swifties out there, or those of you who are anxious to see her in a Marvel movie, apparently you're going to get your wish, and a meeting between her, Marvel Studios, and Kevin Feige has taken place. But there is some reading between the lines that can be done. If she's just now meeting with Kevin Feige and they're deciding on a role for her in the future of the MCU, this most likely means that she doesn't already have a role in the MCU. And of course, that wouldn't preclude her from playing a variant of, say, Dazzler in the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine, but I think it very unlikely, the way that this news was broke, from the source that it was broken from, and how it's worded, that this also means she's in Deadpool and Wolverine with a cameo. So bad news if you wanted to see her in the MCU in Deadpool and Wolverine, but good news in general if you wanted to see her. It'll just be somewhere down the road. Now, of course, there are going to be those who want to go ahead and complain about this before they've even given it a chance, who just basically don't like anything on the internet. And again, if you're a Swiftie or someone who's into this, you should not let this deter your excitement. I'm sure Dazzler is on a short list of characters she might end up playing. I just want to be honest with my reaction to this news. I can't say that I'm totally surprised. I do emphatically think about what I just said, that it's correct. If she's getting a role in the future, she's not Dazzler in Deadpool and Wolverine. But I will also say this: it really takes me out of a movie when a music star shows up and plasters their huge face in the front of their character, whoever it is, especially for a cameo. I didn't like it in Game of Thrones. I didn't like it at the end of the Eternals when we saw Harry Styles walk out, because you see that character, and honestly, for me, there's always a crack in the verisimilitude. And look, I'm not complaining about legitimate songwriters, musicians who transfer over into acting and vice versa. But for me, the bigger a star is in a separate field, the harder they've got to work to undo the sort of stigma, or again, the breaking of the verisimilitude, which is the internal truth of it. If you see Taylor Swift, it's going to be hard for you not to be taken out of it thinking, oh, there's Taylor Swift. In the same way when I saw Harry Styles at the end of the Eternals, even though it was a post-credit scene, and you could argue that sort of the moment for the film was broken anyway with the third act and the denouement as soon as I see him, I do think to myself, oh, that's Harry Styles. Not that they can't be great actors and do great work, it just is an extra thing that, for me at least, I think actually works against them. But this isn't any different from, say, an actor who gets cast in a ton of different roles, Pedro Pascal being a perfect example of this, who now all of a sudden when you see him as Reed Richards, you're also going to think of some of his other major roles from The Last of Us, or from Game of Thrones, or of course from The Mandalorian, or maybe not as much because he has his helmet on, although I do think it's weird he's going to be playing Din Djarin and Mr. Fantastic on the silver screen and under the Disney umbrella within basically a calendar year, one next summer and one the following summer. It still is just one of those things where they've got to work just a little bit harder to keep that intrinsic truth. But for devil's advocacy's sake, that does not mean that Taylor Swift won't absolutely kill whatever role she ends up getting in the MCU, and I really hope that she embraces it and it's not just as a cameo of herself. But I do conclude that with my final thought, as I've brought this up before. I've always said if we were going to see her in Deadpool and Wolverine, that was the most likely case, that she would cameo as herself and not Dazzler. This report is emphatically stating that they're looking for a role for her in the MCU that would be character based, and again, not just a Taylor Swift cameo, which up until real recently I thought was probably the most likely for the music star. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. I know that there are those of you who are going to complain about this off the bat, or there's some of you who probably didn't let me finish when I was talking about big music stars taking up acting roles and probably took to the comments to complain about that too. Well, because this is the internet. But that's what the comments are for. Let me know how you feel down below. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. In fact, we just announced a brand new winner a couple of videos ago. That's our video covering Nova. I'll make sure to link it at the end of this if you haven't checked that winner announcement out. But we're also giving one away for every official Marvel release throughout the year. So Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Agatha, whatever they've ended up naming it, Deadpool and Wolverine, Eyes of Wakanda, whatever else Marvel releases and throughout this year. With each release, we'll do a PlayStation 5 giveaway, and when we get closer to Deadpool and Wolverine, we'll start giving away tickets to see that as well. If you want to be entered or for any of the official giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules always have and always will apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos that you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced in the videos at the end of videos, like we did just days ago, live with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen. We then verify the account. It'll always be done that way, so please stay safe, stay vigilant, especially here on YouTube. If you should ever get a spammer comment trying to make you pay for shipping, keep in mind, content creators don't do that. Just go ahead and report that comment directly to YouTube. They are very fast about deleting it and then suspending the account. And then not only have you removed that comment from said content creator's page, but you've removed that commenting account from everyone that they've commented that spam comment on. You are doing everybody such a service at the community. And while they've left my channel alone for quite a while, they are still targeting this corner of the internet, or rather some of my friends' content creation pages. And I feel like a PSA just helps keep everybody safe. Again, keep in mind, no content creator will ever tell you in a comment that you've won, and certainly will never, ever charge you for shipping. It's just a scam, so keep that in mind and never give out your information on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places: Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.